So you want to be a big boy? You want to be a strong man? A beefy person? Well, you've come to the right place because I now can show you the tanky Ironbreaker build that I use. Alright, here we go. Just to cover the basics, every 20 seconds, he gets hit, he takes no damage. He can taunt enemies around him, keep him off his teammates. He takes 30% reduced damage. He gets an extra stamina shield. He's got 50% reduced stun duration. He's the man. So, as you can see, I'm using the axe and shield, which is why we're going to be going for Rock Breaker. This lets you stagger your enemies with your charge attack from your shields and the successive charge combos after that, and you get a bunch of temporary health, which is super nice. Next, we use Blood of Grimm. That is to say that when each ally is near you, you get increase in your power by 5%, so if everybody's near you, you get a 15% more power. Not amazing for Ironbreaker, but you know, it has its uses. I don't use this, and I'll get into that when I get to my gear section of the video. Next, enhanced power. I almost never use this. I really only use this with Sienna because she does like burn damage. I love Smiter, especially for this guy because he does a lot of staggering. So this just says, hey, everybody you stagger takes extra damage, and the first enemy you hit always gets staggered, so it's super useful for this kind of a build. These next ones, you know, that's not really super useful. This is kind of fun to mess around with. I've used it before. So when you take that hit that doesn't hurt you, everybody around you just kind of flies back a little bit. It's kind of fun. But the more practical thing, I think, is Tunnel Fighter. Takes that from 20 seconds down to 13. Just makes it easier to stay alive. And then you've got Dawi Defiance. So, you know, with this build, I'm going to have 7 stamina shield, which is pretty insane. But I'm not going to have a lot of block cost reduction. So, you know, if you take a couple charge attacks, you will lose some stamina. And with this, you have a 50% chance just to get it all back, which, when it happens, is so nice. You can also use Miner's Rhythm here. Using a charge attack, stamina will regenerate 40% faster, although if you're going to use this, I recommend having at least 40% block cost reduction. I mean, that's just, you need some block cost reduction for this. And then this, you know, we're not really going for like a killing build, so this isn't really necessary. And now with these last 3 talents, I think they're all great, to be honest with you. Booming Taunt, I used to use this one a lot. So, you know, if there's a giant horde, like say you're on Legend or something, and there's a giant horde coming at you, you can pretty much taunt that whole horde to come after you. Drangarazi Oath. I don't use this one too much, but I feel like if you have a really high damage group, like you have a Zealot and a frickin' Shade and like, I don't know, Battle Wizard, I guess, people that do a lot of damage, right? Or a Bounty Hunter. Doing this, like, during a boss, I feel like would be pretty freaking cool. But, like I said, I'm a practical person, and this is a pretty conservative build, so, Oiwazik. This lets you taunt monsters as well. So, it's really useful on a high difficulty because, you know, a lot of times on Legend, like, people can handle the hordes, and you know, most people can even handle the specials, even like if you're together, you know, as long as you don't get too spread out, like you can handle the specials. But it's the boss or the monster or whatever that a lot of times will kill the party. So I like doing this that way. I can taunt the monster, he'll come after me, all I have to do is dodge him, and my team will kill him or get his health down before it wears off. It's pretty nice. Now for the gear, the axe and shield, let me just say, fucking amazing. I love this. You know, it's pretty slow, so I add a little attack speed onto it, and you know, you want to maybe a little bit of block cost reduction. The thing about this build is damage isn't really that important, because you, as an Ironbreaker, your job is pretty much just to stay alive and pick up your teammates when they get down, and to be able to carry a tome and a Grimm. You know, that's pretty much it. You just have to live, you know, and not lose the Grimm, and pick your teammates up. So a little bit of block cost reduction, I think, is nice on here, especially with all those stamina shields. Just makes you super tanky. And then I use off balance. Blocking an attack increases the damage the attacker takes by 20% for 5 seconds, and that is why I don't use crushing counterblow here. Blocking attack increases the power bars attack by 5%, stacks up to 5 times. That just lets me use this pretty much, so I can do like both of these things. I don't know if this stacks with that. That would be interesting, actually. See, I'm guessing that it does, because why wouldn't it? Or maybe they just go together. I don't know. But I like using off balance. Yeah, off balance, because it just lets me do this and the same kind of thing as this, pretty much, at the same time. And then I use crossbow. You know, I pretty much always use barrage with like crossbows and stuff. That's just good for like a monster. Each shot, you know, if you do them all quick, they do more damage. And, you know, power versus chaos crit chance, pretty standard stuff for a bow. And then the necklace. Bark skin is an absolute must on this build. You already have 30% reduced damage. If you take a hit and then you take another hit, that's going to be 70% reduced damage. I mean, that is perfect for like if you get grabbed by an assassin, you like literally won't take any damage. It's pretty nice. And then, you know, health, you gotta have health. I use stamina, but you can definitely use block cost reduction, you know, 30% on here. You know, this accent shield isn't even red, so ideally you would have 30 block cost reduction here, and if you're going for BCR here as well, you'd have 30 again, so you'd have 60 block cost reduction and 5 stamina, or I think it's 5.5 stamina shields. I use just stamina because, you know, I like the push. I'm a pusher. And then the charm, power versus chaos attack speed, just makes your axe swing a little bit faster. And I'll talk about that a little bit here. Power versus chaos, you know, chaos enemies have the higher health than Skaven enemies, so I just like to do that. And then this one, I like to use Decanter for this guy because his ability cooldown is like 2 minutes or something. So if you've got a purple on you, you can just drink that. It'll go down. You can use it again, but you probably won't be using potions very much as Ironbreaker. So what you have here doesn't really matter too much, but I would go with Decanter. And then, of course, on your trinket, curse resistance, crit chance. I use shrapnel because whatever, it's just a nice little thing to make people take more damage. The only way you wouldn't use curse resistance is if you were doing Cataclysm, because nobody goes for Grimms on that, because it's the same rewards as Legend. Now, the reason I stress for the axe and shield so much is because, say there's a horde coming, you can charge attack, swipe, and then if there's an elite, that overhead will pretty much kill them. Push them back, swipe them across, and then you can just do like a push, push them back, swipe across, push. It's super useful. You know, it's like such a good little sequence. You just whoop, 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 or you can whoop, and then a little elite, pop them on the head, and you're good to go, baby.